Welcome to the library tutorial on treatises. In this tutorial, we will discuss what a treatise is, and then look at how you can find one using the library's online catalog. Chapter 4 of the process book defines a treatise as a form of commentary that systematically and extensively explores a legal subject. A treatise may be on a very broad topic, such as criminal law, or a narrower issue, such as search and seizure. In general terms, a treatise is a single title, although it may have multiple volumes within that title, that is authoritative, detailed, and thorough. A treatise often also has some form of updating so that the information is current and relevant. Updates may take the form of pocket parts in the back of the volumes, freestanding supplements beside the volumes, or, in the case of treatises in binders, loose-leaf pages that are incorporated into the text of the volumes. Determining whether a specific title is a treatise can be tricky, and it is often helpful to look at what it is not first. A treatise is not a source of primary law, case reporters, statutes and codes, and regulations. It is not the other types of commentary that you have already learned about, such as the encyclopedias, periodicals, ALRs. It is also not practice materials such as form books and CLEs, and it is not study aids or case books, which are material geared towards helping students learn about a specific area of law. Once you understand what a treatise is, and you can refer to Chapter 4 of your process book for a more detailed discussion of the treatises if you are still unsure, you are ready to learn how to find one in our library collection. To find any material in our library collection, start at the library catalog, which can be found on the home page of the library website. At the home page, there are two options. You can immediately run a simple keyword search in the box provided, or you can click on the catalog link in the list of quick links to see the full catalog. We will look at this second option as it gives you the ability to refine your searches. Clicking on the link brings up the full catalog with several different search options, including searching by a particular field, such as title or author, browsing by format, such as audio or video, and links to other research tools below that. For some basic research tasks, a simple keyword search at this screen would be sufficient, but for more complex or sophisticated research, you will probably want to use the advanced search option, so we will go there now. The advanced search feature allows you to construct a search using field limiters, such as title or author, and connectors, such as and not, or near. You can also limit by other features such as material type, location, and date. For the purposes of this tutorial, we are going to use a hypothetical research situation. Let's assume that you are starting out in practice and you find that you have several older clients seeking legal advice on issues affecting their lives, such as retirement benefits, insurance, medical assistance, housing, or others. As with any issue, there are many different ways you could approach your research, but for our purposes, let's assume you are interested in gaining a general understanding of the legal issues facing elderly people. Your process book says that a treatise is a good resource to use if you want to learn about the framework of an area of law. So let's look to see if there is a treatise that will help you understand the legal issues for the elderly. Before you even begin your research, it is a good idea to develop a list of possible research topics. For this scenario, some possible topics might be elder law, senior citizens, or even just seniors. For your practice set on treatises, note that you have been given some general topic areas on the Basic Client Facts handout you received in Week 1. Also remember that for any research project, it is a good idea to keep a log of what you search and what the results are, so you can refer back later if you need to update or continue your research. So let's go back to the advanced keyword search in our online catalog and run a search using the terms elder law and treatise. If we hit submit, unfortunately, we didn't get any results. Remember that the term treatise was often used in the title of older treatises, but it isn't used as frequently anymore, so that isn't too surprising. Next, let's run the same search taking out the term treatise. Here we see that our search returned 138 items, and that the default sort is by relevancy. At this point, it is the researcher's task to go through the list of items to assess which may be useful. Looking at the first item, the title seems on point, but it is a nutshell, which your process book tells you is a study aid. So while it may give us some general information on the topic, it is not considered a treatise. The second item also looks promising, but when we click on the title to see the full record, we see that it is actually on order for the library and not yet in the library collection. The next two items both have a KFM call number, which indicates that these items are focused on state law. The third letter of the call number, in this case the M, represents the first letter of a state name, here Minnesota. It is also published by the Minnesota Continuing Legal Education Department. Thus, these are practice aids and not treatises as defined by the process book. Let's scroll down to the 8th item and click on the title to see the full record. This title looks promising for several reasons. First, it is very recent with a 2008 publication date, and it is also quite lengthy, over 738 pages. So it has potential as a pretty current and thorough treatment of the topic. So this is one that you would want to make note of. You would want to go back and continue through the list of items to see if there are any other relevant items also. At this point, though, I'm going to show you how you can take one good item, this title Elder Law, and find others that are on the same subject. First, since items on the same topic have the same base call number, you could go down to the shelves and browse the call number area that the good item is at, in this case, the KF 390s. However, that strategy risks missing some items that are currently checked out, on reserve, or in a different format, such as online or microform. The more complete strategy is to use the subject headings in the online record to find additional items. If we look at the full record of this title here, we see that near the bottom of the record is a field labeled Subject. Every item in the library is given one or more subject headings, and like items are given the same subject headings. Note that subjects are not the same as keywords. Subjects must use the correct terms and be formatted in the proper way. Note that the Treatises practice set asks for the subject heading for the treatise you are using. In this case, the subject heading for this item is Older People - Legal Status, Laws, etc. - United States. If we click on that subject heading, we will be taken to a subject list, where we can see that there are actually 216 items with this same subject heading, almost twice as many as we retrieved with our keyword search. This tells us that while our keyword search was not bad, if the item does not use the keyword we searched, in this case elder law, we might miss it, and using the subject search is giving us more complete and thorough results, ensuring that we won't miss anything. If we click on the link for the subject heading, we are taken to the list of items, and if we scan through this, we can see pretty quickly that there's a multi-volume title, Advising the Elderly Client. The open-ended dash at the end of the publication date indicates that the title is still receiving updates. If we click on the title to get the full record, we can see that this is actually current up through 2010. The final step in using a treatise is citing it correctly. Remember that a treatise is really just a book, so Rule B8 in the blue pages and Rule 15 in the white pages are our starting point in the blue book. Here we see the proper citation for the book we found using the online catalog. Note that all this information comes from looking at the source itself, not the online catalog record. We also see a citation for the material on Lexis. When citing to material on an online service, we need to look at Rules B10 and Rule 18 in the white pages. And finally, if, after reading Chapter 4 of the process book and watching this tutorial, you have further questions, remember the reference librarians are available and happy to answer your questions.